I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Look, I didn't even go nowhere. Hey. Did you see the story, like what we're going to be talking about? Obvious. I hope you did. Okay, so I'm gonna just get started. So, welcome back to another Disneyland production. This is Dominique from In the Middle, and in my comments, I am currently live on Instagram and on YouTube, and I am just going to be talking about this podcast that these girls have posted, where someone has sent in where her husband has said that um her husband has said that he had found her ugly. Comes to find out that he's in the house with his friends, and let me see if I could play it.
Okay, I am going to add.
Oh wait, this is. Yeah, so after 4 years of this woman and this man being married, um after this woman and this man are being married, they're living together. All we know is that she overhears her husband having a conversation with his friends talking about that she's ugly. And the girls in the podcast go crazy, like, what? And so he um he defends her into his friends, like, oh, I mean, yeah, she's ugly or whatever, but I appreciate her. She cooks for me, and she makes me happy. Like, I don't care if she has this droopy face and this and that and blah blah blah. And so she goes on to ask him, like, she now has a face to face conversation with him to ask him, like, you really think I'm ugly? And the girls the girls in the video who are reacting from the girl who's reading the story is having a fool, like, oh no, I would have to divorce him. They've been married for 4 years, and I don't know if they have children. They don't say if they have children or not, but they talk about, like, if he doesn't appreciate me, I would have to leave him, and this and that. And so at one point in the conversation, one of the girls bring up, like, this idea of, the man saying that he's regardless of what she looks like, that he's the apple of his eye and all this other stuff. And so the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear this whole situation at first is like, oh yeah, she's unattractive, but um you know it sounds like that he likes her because she reminds him of his mom, like, because he takes care of him. She makes him happy. She cooks, she cleans, she makes snacks for his friends when they come over. And one of the women end up making a point saying, like, no, it's completely disrespectful that they're having this conversation in my house while I'm making them snacks. Like, I'm making them food, and they're having this conversation to be speaking loud enough in my house to be talking about me like this, like, for real. And so that's a valid point, though. I would definitely address that. Like, if in the midst of me having a conversation with a dude, like, you're having this conversation with your friends, fine. First of all, the first thing you should have told them was not to have this conversation in our home. You can't be talking shit about me in my house while I'm preparing your food. That's like courtesy 101. You never know. Like, what am I, a slave or something? So that reminded me of not the episode, but the scene in The Color Purple, when Celie was making the lemonade for Mr. and his father, and Mr. was talking about how oh Mr. Mister's father was talking about how he should get with Suge Avery and forget this girl that he's been with this whole time, and she ended up spitting in his lemonade. Like, you don't talk crap about somebody who's preparing your food. Like, that's strange. That's stupid is what it is. um yeah, and then it's like one of the other girls end up making a point saying, um with girls and dating guys, they'll date someone, or they'll, hang out with somebody, and they wouldn't initially find them attractive, but after a while, because of the way they treated them, or their personality, they ended up warming up to them. And so, yeah, that was that. Like, next thing you know, that they do start looking up, appealing to you. Not, and there's the reverse has happened. Like, I was watching a video today, and somebody was talking about the lack of desire of Will Smith. Like, granted, he's physically attractive, he's rich, and all this other stuff, but he's not sexually appealing to me. He's not sexually appealing to me. And they make a point to talk about how his wife doesn't even respect him. Like, his kids have issues with him, things of that nature, and it's about him being a manly man or whatever the case. But yeah, as far as this woman being in a marriage with this man who doesn't find her physically attractive, but has been with her, he's like, she's felt like when he's out with her, she feels happy with him. Like, he's like, he makes her feel like she's so special and all this other stuff. But then now, 4 years later, they're having this conversation in the home, and she's ready to leave. And the women on the show are willing to, or advising her to leave, or saying that they would leave. And so the girl, who's end up reading the story, asks them too, when did you know that you were beautiful? And one of the girls, because it's three girls, they end up talking. One of them ends up sharing their story about how, when they were younger, or that they've always struggled with their weight, and so they've ended up, like, once they developed their own style, ended up getting attention from men. That's when they found out that they was beautiful. But after a while, like, feeling like they've gotten to their own grown woman situation, that's when they've really truly felt like they were beautiful. Another girl said that the girl in the middle ended up saying that she always knew that she was beautiful, but it really didn't have anything to do with her looks, but more so about her confidence, the way that she, carried herself, things of that nature. And then the girl on the far right who was sharing, or the left rather, who was sharing the story, she ends up saying that because of her complexion, she had a hard time feeling beautiful because of her complexion. She didn't want to get into it too much and all of that other stuff. For me personally, I always felt like I was beautiful, and the reverse happened as far as, like, yeah, I was heavy set growing up as a kid, but my mom always told me all the time that I was beautiful. Even when, every time I was leaving the house, whenever I got dressed, she would tell me I was beautiful. It wasn't until I ended up getting older and men actually started to pursue me, or I was getting male attention, that I started to believe that I I started to question why men were interested in me. Like, were they interested in me because of my actual beauty, the beauty that my mom is talking about, or are they? I was aware that men use women for sexual objects, so I wasn't really sure at a particular point if men were liking me for who I was as a person, or because they desired me, because they had sexual desires for me. So that became a little wonky for me at some point, but I never really questioned if I was beautiful. Even to this day, the reason why I put out this thumbnail, the reason why I show up on these videos half dressed sometimes, is because I am at home. I am at home, and I'm not really concerned about, really, at this particular point in this development of the whole situation, as far as like what I look like. What I'm more concerned about is how my thoughts are coming together, how I'm sharing, how I'm able to get things done technically, like even to the point of the thumbnail of this video. Like, I was trying out different methods on styles, or what type of thumbnail I would want to have on these videos, and getting that together, because I already know that, and people know that too, that I know how to appeal attractive to people. I know how to do my hair. I know how to do my makeup. I know how to dress my body. I know how to do that. Like on the Miss, I remember like Kevin Samuels would ask women to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10, and you can't use 7. Shit, I will be a 5. I will rate myself a 5 and easily, like dressed up, be an 8. Skip 6 and 7, easily be an 8. And so I don't have a problem with what I look like. I mean, even yesterday somebody was calling me insecure a million times, and it's just like I couldn't relate to that, and so I couldn't even get offended because I don't give a shit what other people think about how I look. I'm not insecure about the way that I look. Okay. I may be insecure about other things, and I would have to go through a deep dive on that. But nothing really on the surface I'm really insecure about. Nothing. I've reached a point in my life where I'm past the pleasing or appeasing to other people or other people's standards. So the fact that I'm even live right now and nobody's watching, I don't give a shit about that because that's not important to me. What's important to me is that I said I was going to do something, I'm doing it, I want to do it, and I'm doing it. So the people here are now advising this girl to leave her husband, and her husband, she ends up having a one-on-one conversation with her husband, asking like, "What is it about me that you find unattractive?" And he's like, "You have let yourself go. You have this droopy thing about your face where you look sad all the time, and is you don't look too bad in the dark." Now that is where I had the issue, because like I said, I felt insecure or unsure on the intentions of men sometimes. So is he, like I said, are y'all in this marriage because it's convenient to him? No, you're not physically attractive to him, but you provide a service and he makes you feel good in order for you to provide that service. Like, is that what's going on here? Hey, I've been on here for a while, so I could give you the rundown. So there's this woman who wrote in onto a podcast talking about how she's been married for 4 years, and her husband was having a conversation with his friends while she's making snacks for them, how unattractive she is. They're dead ass having a whole ass conversation, husband included, about how unattractive his wife is. And he defends her like, yeah, I know she's ugly, this and that, but she makes me happy and all this other stuff. She cooks for me and blah blah blah, la la la. And so the women who are reading or reacting to this story as the girl is reading it are appalled, like, oh hell no, like I could not stay with him if he couldn't find me attractive. Meanwhile, there are women out here who just want to be married, who feel like, oh yes, I'm married. Shit, fuck that. Yeah, I locked him down, this and that, and that's all that matters. Expect like there's no conversation about infidelity or anything like that, lying, cheating, or mistreating or anything like that. And so if the only thing that he's saying to you is that you are unattractive and you've always known that you've been unattractive, because that's what she's saying too. Like, I know that I've never been a beauty queen and this and that. I've never been this and I've never been that as far as cute on the looks. So if you know that and your husband married you despite that and still was able to make you his wife, despite all of that, and y'all been married for 4 years, now he's having a conversation. He's admitted that you've let yourself go, or he's said to you that you've let yourself go. You don't want to take any accountability for that. I wouldn't necessarily leave for that reason, personally, because, like I said, I'm not insecure about my looks. But for him to say that, yeah, you cook well and you look good in the dark, makes me sound like he wants to F his mom. That he sees me like his mom because I take care of him, but I take care of him in also in a sexual way. And that wouldn't make me feel good. That wouldn't make me feel good. But You can't ask for somebody to, if you're ugly, knowing that you're ugly, and then be upset when they tell you that you're ugly. You can't be mad like you think the sky. No, you know that the sky is blue. You ask somebody if the sky is blue. They tell you that the sky is blue, and now you mad that the sky is blue. Or worse, like it's a tornado outside. Some you ask, is there a tornado outside? You can't. You decide to go on a plane or try to take a flight somewhere or wherever you land in it. You can't understand the fact that you can't land because there's a tornado outside, and now you're mad because there's a tornado outside. Like, would you rather just him lie to you and be like, "No, girl, you were so beautiful. I love you. I love you. You're beautiful, and you're the prettiest woman in the world," and him just lie to you? Would you rather him just lie to you? Would you rather him just lie to you and tell you how beautiful you are, even though you're not as attractive, but he still appreciates you? He hasn't cheated on you. He hasn't stepped out on you. He just has a talk with his friends and they talk about how you was ugly and he asked them and defended them. I mean, defended you in the conversation. You would leave? Would you leave? Would you tell your partner that they was ugly if you felt like they were ugly? Would you tell your partner that? Like, babe, does this dress make me fat? Would you literally say yes? Question, dun dun dun. This woman is complaining that her husband actually told her that she was ugly after she acknowledged that she was ugly. And now because he told her she was ugly, she's the girls think that she should divorce him. I hope he doesn't see her as a sexual object. That's what I hope. That they spend a great deal of life together, that the quality of life is happy and healthy, and that they have a successful marriage where he doesn't cheat on her or he doesn't step outside of the bounds of their marriage and their vows. And that if they have children, that they take care of the children, that y'all are a happy family. You're gonna submit that you're ugly to a society where looks is all that matters? It's crazy. It's crazy. And here I am sitting in this bummy ass t-shirt with these two twists in my hair, with my hair all crunchy and hard, with no makeup, no eyelashes, no nothing. Like, and people want to call me insecure. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But that's another thing too. Like, why get all bent out of shape? Why get all bent out of shape? If you know that you're not cute, why get bent out of shape? Like, somebody called me insecure. Why would I get bent out of shape if somebody called me insecure if I know that I'm not insecure? What is it exactly that I'm insecure about? You're saying this like it's a fact. If it is a fact, can you prove it to me? I'm unaware that this is a fact. But she's aware that this is a fact, that she is unattractive. So what is the confusion and the outrages about? That he had this conversation in front of his friends, or that his friends felt comfortable enough to have this conversation in the house? Would you rather them have a conversation outside of the house and now that they're joking on you everywhere? At least he had the conversation in the house so you could hear him defend you in your house. Like, so what? She's ugly. So what? So what? Everybody can't be cute. Everybody can't be cute. Just like everybody can't be rich. Everybody can't be cute. Everybody can't be tall. Everybody can't be, there needs to be diversity. And you ugly and you got married. Girl, you won. Some people would consider that winning. What the hell? Why are you mad? Why are you mad that your husband was honest with you? Why are you mad? Especially when you are aware. I don't get it. So, what do y'all think? I don't know. I don't know where to go from here, but I don't think that is a bad thing. I don't think that she should leave her husband. I don't think that, her husband's friends should have brought it up in the house while she's making them food. That's stupid. Okay? And men, you should see women more than just sexual objects. Marry her because you like her personality. Marry her because she will be able to help better your life in some way. You know, whether it be sexually, whether it be romantically, whether it helps your enterprise in some way. Maybe she's a genius and she could help you make a lot of money. Who knows? Whatever the reason why you stay with your wife, women understand your value, and that is more than just your beauty and your booty that you could contribute to the table, and that men may actually like about you. It's a possibility that men may like you more than just for what you look like. Wow. Wow. It's a possibility that men may like you for more than how you contribute in the bedroom. Wow. Wow. There's more to relationships than sex and money. Like if a relationship only has sex and money, that sounds like prostitution. It sounds like prostitution. So I was talking about the girls on the podcast, um, where the when it was like, yo, my husband says I'm ugly. Did you see? Did you see it? It's like they're going through this, and the girls are advocating for him. Sell that cat off the walket. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, she's been married for 4 years, and her husband is not physically attracted to her, and his friends have made it appear. Yeah, so like, what is the big deal? She's married. A lot of women are looking to be married, and she's ugly and married and appreciated. He said that he appreciated her. So what's the big deal? The only thing that I had an issue with was when he said, because I ended up watching the segment on YouTube too, is when he said something to the effect of, yeah, you look good, like you don't look too bad in the dark. What? You took those vows. If he's not cheating on you and he's not treating you horribly, what's the big deal if you already know that you're ugly? You're talking about, oh, I know I'm not a beauty queen. I know I'm not the cutest. I don't know what other self-deprecating things she said, but it's like, if you if you was insecure about the situation, then yeah, anytime somebody says something about it is going to make you feel bad. But your husband defended you and he's holding you down for 4 years. Like, y'all was in a relationship, he engaged, he proposed to you, he married you and stayed married to you for 4 years. Come on, that's a lot. What's the title of the video? Hold on. I got it set right here on my TV. Oh, so I thought I did. It's from the BTS podcast. He should have kept it to himself. But he should have kept it to himself, but it was too late. His friends was already talking about it. So when she confronted him and asked him in person, he should have lied. Yeah, my husband thinks I'm ugly. Episode 124 on the BTS podcast on YouTube. Do you think he should have lied to her when she asked him out loud? Yes, of course. Am I not pressing the button? Okay.
Yeah. So he should have kept this shit to himself. He shouldn't have been talking about she's ugly, X, Y, and Z, or he's not attracted to her, or she's not physically attractive. It's just keep it to yourself. Yeah, you marry me. Yeah, we're married. Yeah, you say you appreciate me, but why the fuck you telling people I'm ugly? Like, why are you telling people I'm ugly? That's killing my confidence.
But his friend said that she was ugly first, and he had to defend her. So
But
the
still,
first
it's
way
like,
that he
don't fuck with
defended
my
her
wife.
was acknowledge the fact that, yeah, all right, so what?
No, I don't want nobody marrying me and you thinking I'm ugly. I mean, you ain't might see people that are line that's like prettier or that you might be more attractive to, but don't be telling people I'm ugly. That's dumb. And
So
I'm not gonna be okay with it because you married me. Like, I'll go marry the next person.
facts. Okay, so so do you think ugly people should get married?
Yes, they're gonna be pretty to somebody.
But okay, so do you feel like, so if a man feels like you're ugly but they still like, would you marry somebody that's ugly?
If I love them, yeah.
Okay, so he loves her.
But still, don't be putting it out there that she ugly. Hold it down.
But
That's your
she's
wife.
putting it
For
out
better
there.
or for worse.
She's putting it out there that she's ugly. She can't help that she's ugly.
You should have popped on his friends. Like, don't talk about my wife.
He did. He was like, so what? No, 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 not so what?
No.
And then she had the nerve to have the conversation with him for him to tell her to her face, like, yeah, you got this little droopy thing on the side. You let yourself go. Um, he wild on her.
But that's the thing. Why you ain't been telling me this before I said something? Like, if we're married and you appreciate me, you love me, why you ain't telling me this stuff as we go along?
Because that didn't matter to him. Maybe that didn't matter.
Tell him all that shit up in his mind. Like, yeah, you are ugly. Like, yeah, you look funny. Yeah, when you be snoring, I don't like that. Like, what the fuck? That's my Fuck you mean? I don't like your glasses. Your glasses get foggy inside. All right, now. You could have told me that a long time ago.
But he still loves you.
And that's the whack shit because like I said yesterday, yeah. Sorry. Oh my bad. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh man, that's funny.
But yeah.
No, I agree. I agree. Like, don't be bandwagon people talking about, yeah, I'm ugly. Don't do that. And don't fucking talk about, yeah, I don't look too bad in the dark, because he said something like that too.
But that's just mad blatant violating. Like, what you mean I don't look too good in the dark? What can you see in the dark? What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, my bad. I just rejoined. What's the conversation? The conversation right now is this woman who's been married for 4 years. Overhears her husband and his friends talk about how unattractive she is, and she wrote into the BTS podcast, and she had shared her situation with them, and they was reacting to it, and so I was reacting to it, and I was just basically saying, like, I personally don't have a problem with this because I don't really have insecurities with my looks. Like, I know right now I look crazy, but I know that I could put on. So but this situation with this girl, and he's basically co-signing, like, yeah, you do. They had a one-on-one conversation. He's co-signing, like, yeah, you do have this thing about you that's unattractive, but I appreciate you. You could cook.
Not you could cook. That's crazy.
Because she's sitting up there, they having this conversation while she's making them food. That's some on mom after school shit. You can't be talking shit about me while I'm making your food. That's wild.
Yeah, I will kill you.
I was saying before, that remind me of the scene out of The Color Purple where Celie spit in the lemonade. That is funny.
That is funny. No, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, you want to die. And it's not even, all right, don't get me wrong. Like, you could love somebody or be with somebody that's not easy on the eye, right? But it's about if we find them attractive or not. So what you marry me for? Like, what you was fucking with me for? And it's not to say, oh, everything has to be about looks. I understand that. But you should let me know that in the beginning. Like, you're not really my type, but I do like you.
You're not really my type,
Like,
but yeah, that's what she was saying too. Like the girl who was reading it, she ends up saying like, girls they end up dating someone, and then after you get to know them, automatic like after a while they start to be physically attractive to you.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they end up growing on you. It happens. But maybe that did happen and it ended up reverting because he did say something to the effect of like, yeah, you've let yourself go, but don't do it. Like have it, like you said, like have a conversation with me first before you have this whole outside conversation with your mans and them in my house while I'm making y'all food. So basically the husband told his wife he only married her for culinary skills and not for the looks. I heard other men say that before.
Like, no,
That's
so he didn't
crazy.
base it. It's kind of like he said that, but not really. He just don't find her attractive. But I mean, damn. Yeah, that's kind of weird. The whole relationship, like, oh my beautiful queen, not saying nothing like that. You don't feel that way about her, like.
What food is that good? So he wanted a wife versus a chef, or maybe he was
Right.
a chef that he could have sex with. But I don't think it's that. I don't know. Like the conversation is just the story is wild. The reaction is wild. But it doesn't really give too much context on what's going on in the relationship. But the fact that you know people who only marry women or marry women for their culinary skills over their looks, that sounds like, I mean, that just sounds to me that he's just prioritizing making sure that he's fat. I mean, so I
Mm.
know some people too who look really good. I mean, or who look really good, who can't cook and they single and they sad.
That's true, but my thing is just like, as a husband, as my husband, you want me to, you telling me that you appreciate me, you this, you that, you, whatever. But you blatantly, clearly had this conversation with these group of friends before this. You understand? Even if I'm just over here and I'm talking right now, like you open up that door for them to feel comfortable to even say that. Because what friend is going to blatantly just be like, oh, your wife is ugly? While you in my crib, while I'm cooking my food for you to eat, you ain't gonna randomly say that. You had this conversation before. Even if you felt like, yeah, well, I need somebody that look like this, X, Y, and Z. You may be portraying that image to them like everybody else that you're looking at, that you're attracted to, does not look nothing like your wife. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like indirectly saying it or whatever. And that's weird. Like, don't marry me.
But what if they had the conversation about it and then they decided to bring it up to him?
Why do you even play with me in my house?
Exactly.
I'm up in it on all of y'all. Whatever I'm cooking is over y'all. And as you being my husband, nigga, you better put on for me. Like, I appreciate you. No, show them you appreciate me. Knock one of them niggas out.
Exactly. That's
In
like
my house.
that's like going off of on another thing too. I was talking to my sister yesterday and she was saying something to the effect that she read on Instagram, like, oh, this girl, like the article said this girl spiked a drink by spraying rose spray in it. I'm like, first of all, that's mad suspicious because you don't spike nothing with rose spray. Hold on, before we move on. But Mercedes, is a conversation with the boys.
Not in my house. You say that conversation for outside of my motherfucking house.
We're just gonna talk it as his. You'd be surprised on how many people marry qualities other than looks. Yeah, I
And I
mean,
understand that.
huh?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead.
And I understand that, like, she got blood, she's as pretty as the average girl. They not thinking she hits it. Yeah, but it's just disrespectful. Like, you're doing that while you're in my crib and I'm cooking my food for y'all. That's violating. And if you ain't want me to hear it, you shouldn't have said it. It's a difference if you standing on business like, oh, nah, like, oh, you're not really that pretty. Like, oh, I don't really find you attractive in my face. But versus you doing it while I'm cooking my food, I'm slaving over the stove for y'all. And all y'all can talk about is me being ugly. Why is me being ugly a problem? And I'm my husband. I'm not fucking y'all. I'm only being nice because I'm cooking for him right now. And I would be surprised how many people marry for qualities over other than looks. And that's okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Everybody gonna find somebody attractive. We might not find them attractive. And the qualities might make you attracted to them. and make you push to the side that their looks is not what you're looking for. But at the end of the day, no, don't marry me. He could have saved that, and she should have saved it. Because as soon as he would have overheard that shit, and you ain't hear your man checking him, he just want to get in on tell you like, well, oh, I've been feeling this way for this time. And my husband, like, we're supposed to be above anything else. It's not like we're boyfriend and girlfriend. But go ahead, Damo.
Yeah, so Saquon also said, but this is what if he got on some dusty ass shoes and they start cutting on him? It's just talk. Just going on with the podcast, making a relationship public is what's crazy. That's true. That's true. That's true. Because that's another thing too. We don't know the nature of their relationship. Granted, she overheard it, but like, what if the shoe was on the other foot and they were talking about his friends? Like, what if her homegirls come over to their house and talk about him and his friends? And they just have this type of banter. Because she says in the thing, like, I know I'm not no beauty queen. I know I'm not the cutest thing, X, Y, and Z. So, like I said, she is a little self-deprecating. Mm-hmm. So why are you now telling all of us now? Like, we didn't know this.
Yeah, I would have bailed my husband up. No, I wouldn't even told nobody because that's some shit now we gotta keep between ourselves. And then now these niggas is gonna go home and tell their wives, and their wives gonna have a conversation with somebody else. It's just gonna be a whole line of telephone, like. And it is disrespectful to downplay and belittle your wife to your boys at any point. You feel me? So, but it's more disrespectful that it's happening in the house.
While I'm making y'all food.
Why the fuck is it happening in my house? Y'all had that private conversation at the bar at one of them niggas' houses, not in my house.
Right.
I'm making my food.
Is that part?
Ridiculous. And yeah, she could have kept this to herself too. She didn't have to take it to a podcast. So now 1,000,001 people know how your husband feel about you. And you won't be feeling worse by that point because people won't be like, yo, ain't you the same bitch that feel like that knows that your husband think you're ugly? So it's just like, it's going to be just, and then you can tell she already self-conscious already, you know? Mm-hmm. That low self-esteem already, it's just weird. I don't know. I'm not marrying no nigga.
Yeah. You're not marrying no nigga?
No, I'm not marrying him. Period. I don't even know why he thought he could play in her face. Like, I'm ready to beat him up for her.
And they've been married for 4 years.
4 years of bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Like
4 years of really good meals. So shit, like what the hell he look like if she cook good and he don't, and she's ugly.
And he still with her and he married her.
Exactly.
He's a weirdo. He should have kept that shit to himself and he should have been fighting. You and them niggas would have been on that couch tussling, knocking shit over in my house. You over here talking about, yeah, but you got this little droopy shit. Don't tell me that. Hell. A way to kick me when I'm down. I thought you'll be on Snap.
Did she stand up for herself? Is she considered a weak woman? Me personally, would I consider her a weak woman? I don't know. Like, don't ask questions that you don't want the answers to. But I mean, as her husband, he do gotta play a role a little bit, right? He gotta, put some zhuzh on it a little bit, the same way that she's gonna have to on the other side. That's funny.
I don't feel like I don't feel like she's considered weak. I feel like, again, that was a position that her man was supposed to step in and defend her. She shouldn't have had to say anything. She shouldn't have had to step out of character. She shouldn't have had to defend herself. I married to somebody who I married was supposed to be defending me and protecting our union. Period.
But I mean, the fact that you use the word protection means that there's some sort of weakness. So not to say that her as a whole as person is a weak ass bitch because she married somebody who don't find her physically attractive. I'm not saying that. You're not saying that. But it is a weakness in their relationship that he would have to protect. 100%. I agree.
But I don't think it's weakness. It's a men that's talking. It's not like it's females. He's a man.
Yeah, but the thing is with men is that they are appealed to what they see. What attracts them is what they see, not necessarily what is. So granted, he took this step to marry her and stay married to her for 4 years. The whole reason why they're having this basic ass conversation is because niggas is basic sometimes. So now they're going to have this stupid ass conversation at an inconvenient time where, like we have already said, that y'all already had this conversation before. You don't have to do this right here, right now, while I'm here doing this right here.
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider her weak for not, even if she didn't say nothing to that.
Right.
Because it just been, niggas is bitch up. For them to even be having a conversation like that is kind of sassy. Okay?
Yes.
Very zesty.
Yes.
So if she would have stepped in and tried to defend herself and say something, it definitely would have been a lot more dialogue and them disagreeing, and a lot of feelings being thrown at each other and just being, I don't know, controversial.
Yeah, I feel like in as far as like, did she defend herself in the conversation in the letter? No, not really. She sounds like a victim, and that's why the girls are sympathizing for her. But in the one-on-one conversation, she should have showed up differently in that conversation. Like, not even, do you find me unattractive? Like, no, girl, you already know that.
Right.
You should have had a different type of conversation. Like, when people are talking shit about me being ugly, you should show up for me differently, as opposed to, what about me is ugly? Solidify how ugly I am, because that's what that conversation was.
Yeah, like, bitch, you already feel the way you feel. You can't change that. You can't change your face at this point. Like, you can, but why would you want to do it for a nigga like that? You allow people to already talk about you. You know, get what you get and don't get upset. So you find me ugly, yes?
Like, what? What's wrong with me? Exactly. And now you're on the podcast and these girls are telling you to leave your husband. Your husband, your husband, your husband.
Oh, exactly. My man. I ain't going nowhere. Exactly. That's how I feel. He's definitely right for this is right probably.
Yes, me too. I agree.
What type of guy? What, like? And then it's just like him doing that and agreeing, or him even bringing that conversation to somebody, or allowing people to have that conversation. What does that say about him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you went down the aisle and married this girl.
That he's looking for a mom. He's looking for a mom.
Well, go marry your mother.
But he can't fuck his mom.
Oh.
And that's what bothered me. That whole idea of like, oh yeah, you don't look too bad with the lights off. Nigga, what?
Exactly. That's so disrespectful.
That's mad messed up. Like, that part he said to her face.
And it's like, how do I even go back?
Yeah, that's what they were saying that too.
A lot of shit, but I'm gonna go back to, oh, I love this man, you my man. You think I'm the ugliest bitch in the world? Like, niggas be having conversations. I'm putting a bag over bitches' faces, and I love them.
Exactly. Turn around.
Like, yeah, like, I don't want to look at you. What?
I think Victoria Monet ended up saying something like that on My Mama, talking about she said something to the effect of like, nah, you can't hit this from behind. The fraction, the never don't decline. Yeah. Fuck is you talking about? Face me. I said what I said. I look how I look.
It's me. Yeah, they need compliment. Or she needs to. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to measure it up to if she feels like that's a bottom line. She done exposed it to the whole world at this point.
I don't like that she exposed it in the midst of being self-deprecating. I don't like that. Like, pick a side, girl. Like, is you cute or is you ugly? Is you mad that you ugly, or is you like, don't do that. Don't do that to us. Because now, what you want us to do now? That's your husband. That been your husband for 4 years.
And he ain't ever look in your eyes and hold your face and be like, what the fuck? There's just a lot to think about. Like,
I didn't even take that into consideration.
He be closing his eyes, we got kiss. Don't look at me.
Like, you keep your eyes open when you kissing?
I mean, no, but I'm saying, I want to know that you're looking at me.
Yeah, it's squint a little bit. You gotta squint a little bit so you can see a little bit.
That's not this is not hilarious, but it's hilarious. Cause girl,
We didn't
keep
need to
that to yourself.
know,
Yeah, keep that shit to yourself.
but it was funny how the girls reacted though. I want to do some more of these. What else should we be talking about? And
Mm.
people coming out. I don't like. We need to come up with another topic. I'm not one to keep talking about this ugly girl no more.
I don't know. I don't know those topics on hand, but there's definitely like some topics out there. I keep my eyes slightly open.
Exactly.
Look at me, exactly. I want you to look at me. You never held your face and held your chin like, oh, my pretty girl.
Let me kiss you on the forehead.
Nice. Yeah, nothing nice is crazy. Bitches be, she must be having low self-esteem.
It be settling for the worst. And it's like there's so much out there, baby girl.
So many fish to fry.
But I did post the other day, or if not yesterday, it's like, yo, social media will have you fucked up thinking that you got more options than you really do.
That's true, though. That's definitely true. That's definitely understandable. Because the people will be liking your posts, and people, other like some people will be like, "Oh my god, especially like my post, he like me, or he think I'm cute."
Oh, run them off, just. All right, so Saquon came in first. Okay, can you marry somebody if you're not physically attracted to them?
No, should you?
Or should you marry to them? Should you marry someone if you aren't physically attracted to them? Yes, that's basic. Like if you could get past it, okay, first of all, marrying somebody only because you are physically attracted to them is stupid. Okay. But should you marry someone that you aren't physically attracted to? Yeah, because they go. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It depends on how unattracted you are to them and their genetic pool. Because some people just get worse. You know. So, so if you don't find them attractive and that's an issue for you over time, it's going to get worse. So that's it depends on what you value.
Before you so ugly. That's what gonna be telling guys. Like, come on. But I definitely think should you marry someone if you aren't physically attracted? Should you? I would say no. But could you or would you? Yes.
Yeah. Especially too, because another thing too, when considering your partner, you also thinking about what your children are gonna look like. So if you're not planning on having children with this person, so the fuck what? What they look like, because that's their looks. It's not my kid. My kid don't look crazy. That's their kid. You know, the kid, ugly people have ugly kids. It's like, oh, y'all, this your kid? No, that's not my kid. That's his kid.
I'm screaming.
I don't have no kids, so I doubt my children will come out ugly if I have children. But it's not about what they look like. I hope my daughter, if she is ugly, don't grow up going and writing letters to strangers and telling people about her business like this. I mean, I've seen people do it for money. It did end up cheating. But that's another thing too. Like you don't really know sometimes like what cheating is in a relationship because somebody could be like, look, I at this point am no longer physically attracted to you. Are you okay if I, get somebody else, incorporate somebody else into this situation? I still love you. I want to be married to you.
Yeah, that's true what you said about we don't know what's cheating in a relationship because it's definitely like I feel like too, even on like a lower level, it's like somebody could be like, oh, he was looking at another girl, he cheated on me.
Because he was just looking at another girl.
People be saying that. I heard people say that like, oh, every time I turn around, he's looking at somebody else, or he was looking at another girl like this, and he liked it 10 of her pictures, and yeah, I think that's kind of weird sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot of times too if that person has a habit of soliciting people off of the internet. Like if he knows that liking 10 pictures is gonna hook this girl to wanna open the box, then she may be trying not to like condemn that as opposed to the fact that her husband don't have no self control, her boyfriend don't have no self control.
Yeah, it's different levels of cheating, I guess. That's what it is. It's
Just
definitely different levels.
sorry, I was just reading his comment.
Yeah. The money that they offer nowadays ain't worth it.
Yeah, you shouldn't get married for money. And that's the thing, like with social media and everything, it's so easy to get caught up in the looks, but it's always been easy to get caught up in the looks. So, and then for women, the same thing. Like, for what makes a man attractive is the amount of money that he has access to. Not even the money that he actually has, the money that he has access to.
The potential money that he may receive, he may get. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So, what's important in marriage or long term relationship for those who don't believe in marriage? Well, that's a good question. I think it varies from person to person, but for me, I personally, I need to be mentally stimulated. Like things like this, I feel like I can have conversations for with whoever for whatever, and if this person is going to be my forever person, and we can have like entertaining dialogue, fun competition. Like I need to be able to have fun with my person, despite what life brings us. We need to be able to still have fun with each other.
Something that's important right now is the way people show up for me. So it's not always like a financial thing. Like, do I want to be with somebody that is, and it's a difference from a person having money and a person actually, financially pouring into you, right? Because people can have money and don't pour into you at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not always a financial thing. But you need to have something. You need to be able to do something. You need to be able to get to something. We need to be able to meet each other halfway. But it's definitely about how a person shows up for me. And that could just be mentally, physically, emotionally. Like I need somebody that is healed or very concerned about their healing process. That's not fighting 1,001 demons. Like, I don't want somebody that's fighting 1,000,001 demons. I'm fighting shit over here for myself. Like, I want somebody to be able to lift the weight up off my shoulders. And I'm telling you, that don't have to be financial. It can definitely be mentally. Like, I need somebody that's mentally ahead of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I didn't say that right off the bat because I don't associate myself with like I can't be in relationship with people who don't do that automatically. And it don't have to be like you said, financial or on a regular basis, but at least I know that I can find that in you, or that it is a part of our relationship, regardless of the type of relationship that it is. So I'm never gonna ask anybody to do something that's outside of their capacity. That's not true because I don't know all the time what's within somebody's capacity. So that's not true. But yeah, for a long term relationship, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think I do a really good on my own, like regulating stuff like that too. I think that's because I like to deal with shit privately. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to my answer. I need to be able to have fun with my person because life is hard already, and I deal with that. I think I do a really good job with that. But yeah, I respect that answer too. What about you? You Mr. Married Man, aren't you married? Justin,
Yeah.
you still here? What's I'm asking Justin. You still here? What's important for you to have a long term relationship since you don't want to be married?
feel like, I just want to piggyback on that question real fast though. I feel like I'm in a place right now after living all these years and always showing up. Nah, no marriage. Always showing up for other people. You know how they be saying, what is it, like a software era? Like I feel like I'm in that right
In
now.
the your soft girl era, yeah.
Like that's what I'm in right now. Like, and it's not like okay, I'm looking for somebody to save me or do whatever. But sometimes it's like when you offering up everything you got, you get drained fast. Like I need somebody else gonna pour into me. Like, and people tell you all the time, like that's like if I'm talking to people, I do have a tendency to be like, oh well, if it's a new person I'm talking to, right? And they can be trying to chill, right? And I'm not saying that they're trying to chill because they want to have a relationship. They can be trying to chill for whatever reason that they want to chill for. To fuck, to talk, to go out, to do whatever, however. The problem is that people don't put in that, like, people don't apply pressure, right? So the quickest thing to get a person to, like, fall back is I don't got a babysitter, right? I was like, I don't got a babysitter. I'm like, all right, when you get one, let me know. I'm never gonna let you know, nigga. You want to see me, I don't want to see you. And I know it may sound like crazy, but it's just like, damn, you don't even think in your mind, like, oh, man, let me see if I can find a babysitter. Let's see what I can do to assist in this situation and make it better for us, or to see if I can get whatever I want out of this situation. People, I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree. And I used to think like it was anything that seemed transactional to me used to seem like prostitution. I used to like, people talking about city girl life, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, if you're giving up the box to somebody and they give you money, like that's prostitution. I don't necessarily feel like that anymore. And I could say that because I used to really say that out loud. So now I don't feel like that anymore, to the same point, to the idea of the soft girl era. Like when you're in a situation with somebody and they're not willing to commit to you, but they're still asking you for shit, and you I don't know, for whatever reason, they'll feel like you're getting whatever reciprocated or your needs met, like you still struggling in your personal life. Like, like I would want to be with somebody too who, like you said, will contribute to helping me be soft for me to want to do certain things for you. You know what I'm saying? Like if the weight of my if the weight of the world is on my back, I'm going to work. I'm technically a single woman. I come home, I take care of my bills, I still take care of myself to make men attractive to me just because this is just who I am. It does take upkeep. And this is why I had the conversation before about being high maintenance and insecure. Like people used to make girls feel insecure because they were high maintenance. It takes maintenance to look like this. What the fuck? So yeah, if you're not helping me, be mushy for you, because I know you want all of this ooey gooey. So stop playing. Come on. Justin says for a long-term relationship, will have to consist of stand-up women and appreciate me as much as I appreciate them. So you're talking about, okay, a person with dignity, with reciprocity, okay, appreciates me as I appreciate them. No faking the phone, true, genuine, old soul. All right, so you want that old fashioned thing. Exchanging money for sex is prostitution, job, no matter how you spit it. No, 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 no. Because like if you with somebody, if we out on the date, or no, not if you're out with somebody and you spend a certain amount of time, y'all gotta eat, right? If you are in a situation and you see yourself as the leader in this situation and you gotta make sure that we gotta eat. The fuck? That's money.
And I think a lot of times they talk about like exchanging money for sex. If you're, at the end of the day, ain't shit free, right? So that's just how you just said, like maintenance, everything else is included in shit, right? So it's such a fucking annoyance when guys are like, or females as well. We could both have our preferences, right? So your thing is, oh, I want my drink, I want my girl or my whoever I'm dealing with to keep their box waxed or bald, wax and coarse. You want the pussy bald. I didn't say I want my pussy bald. You said you like it like that. That ain't my problem. That's your problem. So when you want things like that and you have preferences, that's something that you should be like, well, here, I want you to go get a wax. Or your nails and your feet done. I want you to go get your feet and your nails done. Yeah, like but even still, like I don't know. Yeah, I feel like with a lot of shit nowadays, because it's even like when as a female and a male, y'all both going out working 80 hours or 40 hours a week or whatever the case may be, and then we coming home and you like, oh well, you need to cook the food, run my bath water, and I just gotta come home as a man and play the fucking game. Like what? The fuck are you talking about? It's a fact, man. Okay.
Nigga said no waxing! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Okay, not you, not you.
But work, so no matter what, we are paying money. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And everything now was talking about always.
Wait, what? Everything now is talking what?
Everything now was like, oh, it's tricking. Oh, I'm paying for pussy. I'm paying for this. I'm paying for that. Oh, if you take a bitch out for date on a date, happy hour. Oh, that's tricking. I don't trick on bitches. I don't buy bitches food. I don't. It's just so weird. Like, and then everything is chalked up to be prostitution at this point, and it's just like ain't shit free. Like life ain't free. You want me to sit on this phone and text you? This phone bill got to get paid. Why do I got to pay my phone bill? And you want to be on my line all day talking about nothing? It's fucking annoying. A nigga waking up in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, text you, good morning. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Dying. Leave me alone. Feel like that is annoying.
Yeah, and like even in courting, like traditionally when you will court, that shit will cost money. Like, and it don't have to be like a whole arm and a leg. It don't have to be a whole arm and a leg. First of all, when you're dealing with somebody, you have to set the precedent for what the relationship or the standard is going to be like. So for her, it may be emotional and mental. For him, it may be like limits on how he's going to spend his money or whatever the case, or how he's going to use his resources on her. Fine, whatever. But come on, if we going Dutch on everything, and you then my nigga, why I could do this for free by myself or with my friends. What separates you from my homegirls? I get my nails done. I get my nails done to go hang out with my homegirls. It takes me about like a week in my mind to figure out what I'm wearing to a situation with my homegirls. How I'm going to wear my hair, what toes, what shoes I got to wear, how my toes going to look, what dress I got to put on, what the weather's going to be like, to consider what my hair is going to look like at the end of the day. Maintenance. What does maintenance look like? What the hell you mean? Not what the hell you mean. I didn't mean to get this. But like maintenance, like you want your hair, her hair gotta look a particular way. I was talking to this dude. Let me back up a little bit. I was talking to this dude. There was a situation where I had posted before where this man was talking about what's wrong with you if you're not married by a certain age? Could that question be asked to women? Because asked to men, because it's always asked to women a lot. And the girls on the podcast, it was a dude asking them, could the same question be asked to men? And it was like, no. It's like, marriage is a preference. This is snap over yes and no. Yeah, you could definitely ask that, the same way that men are supposed to take care of women. Men are supposed to take care of women in a society. If you believe that in a traditional way, you saying that anything in exchange of money of prostitution is kind of saying that it's kind of misogynistic, because in a traditional situation where not necessarily soliciting stuff, I'm not saying, look, pay for this, pay for that, like this is all you're getting. You're paying for the whole person. And in addition to this person, the time that you're spending with this person, mind, body, spirit, there are things that you need to take care of on a physical level. If I'm talking to you and you talking about, oh, why your nails look like that? If you got a problem with it, fix it.
Heavy on it. If you got a problem with it, fix it. That's how I feel. Like if you feel like you want, oh well, you should have wore this, or you should this will look nice on you. Pick it up. Feel me? And I'm not saying back to we took one. Yeah. So the next question, it was like, I gotta pay your phone bill because we took my phone. No, but I don't want you to ever think I'm obligated to text you back, answer your phone calls, and any sense of wait, when it's my phone, my line, and I'm paying for it.
And
That's
you
just how
not,
I
and
feel.
we're not together. The whole point is the point where niggas don't want to commit. Like, we not together, and you want to control what's going on over here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
willing to comply to control. I'm not even control, but I'm willing to comply to what your requests are if I'm willing to stay in this situation. But don't think that I'm gonna be bending over backwards and you not contributing to this.
So if my fit ain't on point, you taking me shopping to get one. If I'm fucking with you like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's just like, if I'm coming into your life, say you already got a way of dressing, right? And I'm coming into your life and I like my males to dress a certain type of way, I'm definitely going to the store picking it up. It's never going to be an issue. And if I know that you already got a person that's going to kick in, and if you see something that you like for me, or if I need something, or whatever the case may be, and you don't have no issue with doing that, I'm going to be okay with it. Like, all right, I like this fit right here. I want you to wear this. Like, I'm never going to half step. It's going to be a shirt, a pants, shoes, sneakers, socks, all types of shit. But yeah.
Or
I don't
even
feel
make
like
it make it smaller than that. Like, if you coming over to chill at my house and you know that I don't have ice in my house, but you like ice in your water, bring the ice. Don't get mad at me because I don't have ice. Bring the ice.
Right. Like, oh. Or you go like people, it'll be little. Yeah, it's like you said, like that. When you going in the store, say you want to call with somebody, right? They go, you stop. Y'all stop. Y'all go in the store, and the motherfucker come outside with only sign for themselves. Bitch, you can't possibly be thinking that you won't get some pussy. You cannot possibly think that. And I'm not saying that because you got me to the store, you're gonna get some pussy. But what I'm saying is like that's some selfish ass mentality. You know we about to be in this car together. Why are we not making it a comfortable situation for us both?
Knowing that I need water to survive. You ain't even think to give me a water?
The audacity. I'm paying for the person like slavery or cattle. It's not paying for a person like slavery or cattle. It's just the fact that is you like, yo, you looking for a female right now or a male right now that's solely dependent on you?
Before we get into that, I'm paying for a person like slavery or cattle. No, are you valuing that person like they're a slave or cattle? First of all, you have to start with yourself. Like, how are you valuing the person? And then that all of that other stuff is extra. The money is extra. The pussy is extra. My time is extra. How do you value that? Everything needs to be maintained. Anything that you have an issue with, that in order for this to work right here, is maintenance. You maintain a relationship. You just don't fuck people. You have a relationship with people. You have to consider the person. You have to maintenance. You have to maintain, take into consideration a lot of things. It's not just what you could get out of the situation. You have to consider the other person too, right? What considers maintenance? Don't you maintain your home? Don't you clean your home to make sure when your shorty come over that your house is nice and it don't smell crazy? Don't you get haircuts? Don't you bathe on a regular basis? Now you want to have access to my body. Of course, you have somebody with good hygiene, but anything extra is extra. Anything that's gonna help me be soft. We already said that part. Sadie's, you still there? I still maintenance is the responsibility of an individual and the dependence unless it's something serious. I mean, and serious is relative too. What does serious mean? You define serious. And that's what's between the individual. It's between not the individual, but it's between the couple, whoever is involved. It's like there's a lot of maintenance. You do a lot of maintenance in your life anyway, is my point. Is my point. And so when you're coming into somebody else's life, don't you want to support some of that?
And I do honestly feel like maintenance is a responsibility of an individual as well. But again, When you come into my life, I might not like the same things you like, is what I'm saying. So when you're sitting here like, well, I like my bitches to have their nails done all the time. I like my bitches to have their hair done all the time. I like my bitches to be bold and strict. That's something that you need to. I like this, so I want you to go to the store and do this. Like that's not wholeheartedly something hard to understand. Yeah, I make this myself. How I make this myself. Do I get my nails done? No. Oh, but you like your bitches to get their nails done. So every time we out, you think you're gonna talk about my nails, and now you think I'm just gonna go get it. No.
Right. And that just leads back to the whole conversation for to leave space for somebody else to talk shit about me. Like the whole reason why we having this conversation right now is because a woman who has been married for 4 years had a husband and his friends talk shit about her. So in that case, the whole point of this is just like your husband is supposed to close that gap. It's supposed to make you feel secure in a relationship, your husband. And now we started varying off on, maybe not husband because everybody doesn't want to get married. But when you're considering somebody and you're in somebody's life, y'all are supposed to be, like we already talked about before, as far as reciprocity, alleviation, things of that nature for us to be able to maintain our lives together, individually and together.
And the reality of it is, a lot of males be trying to kick females back in when it comes to financial exchange or whatever, and these niggas be buying pussy. So just buy the pussy and move on. Like, stop being a weirdo.
But even in that, even when you buy a pussy, she taking the money and refinance it back to the merchandise because she got to go back on the strip to make more money.
And she got to be smelling good, looking good, taken care of, nails done, hair done, feet done, everything. She better be a doctor. Like, all of that shit costs. And everything, again, that does not have to be financial. But if you're not even helping me carry the weight of anything, I could be going through something mentally, and all you're doing is like, oh my God, every time I tell you want something, you need something. Bitch, listen to what I gotta say first. Like, walk me through that. Help me out. Like just listen to me for a second. Let me vent. Let me cry. It don't always have to be like, oh my God, you're always complaining. Yeah, because I'm dealing with a million and one things, and you're not helping me at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it's just like the other thing too is that we have this whole thing, like we said, this whole idea of soft girl era, but then you want to talk about why women are so masculine, why women are so hard, this and that, or women are so independent and all of this other stuff. And then we try to make room for you and you don't even take up the space. I tried to make room for you. I tried to be soft for you. I tried to, cater to you a little bit, but where's that back to me? Oh, you feel less of a man now because you're catering to a woman. Oh, you a simp now because you catering to a woman. No, you catering to somebody that you actually value. You are contributing value to something that you already find value in. You're investing in something that you already see that is good, that is going to make a good return on your investment. That's the whole point. You know that she's not going to embarrass you when y'all not together. You know for sure that, that she holds herself in a particular way, or that or that he represents himself in a particular way where he don't look crazy outside, whether it be demeanor, whether it be outfit, whether it be money, whether it be the way that he interacts with other people. I think people are struggling to thrive and to grow versus just surviving and living. Sounds like there's a lot of unhealed trauma negatively influencing relationships as a whole. Exactly. That's why she said in the beginning, like, you have to be able to be healed. Like, you have to be healed in order to deal with a lot of people, including herself. She said that, like, people are going through a lot of stuff. And so that's why I said, like, in the midst of, we already know that. Like, to me, that's a given that people are going through stuff. And so when we're in this little bubble together, at least we could create our little bubble of bliss of whatever that looks like. That's what I prioritize. You cater to an exclusive relationship or a situationship because a lot of us are not even in committed unions. Yeah, first of all, people aren't even in committed unions with themselves, okay? They don't value themselves, therefore they don't know how to value other people. I just said that to somebody. You feel like it's doing too much for somebody else because you don't even see the value in doing it for yourself first. That's where spirituality comes in. You don't have a issue with complimenting somebody else when you don't have a problem complimenting yourself. You don't have an issue with, like, putting a little money to the side for somebody else because you already do it for yourself. And when you're, to Saquon's point, as far as thriving versus struggling, or thriving versus surviving. Thriving is when you're in abundance. Surviving is when you're trying to scrape up X, Y, and Z. When you're in a relationship or in a situation with somebody, you shouldn't be in survival mode with another person. Like, y'all are supposed to be moving up in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point of me adding you to my life if you're not adding something to it? Zero times zero, zero times anything is zero. You know that, right?
That's a fact.
So
And
if
people
I'm
be
if
ready
I'm
for
on
that.
9 and you not contributing nothing, this whole situation still equals nothing. Go ahead.
And like, it do be a lot of unhealed trauma and negativity influence of relationships as a whole. It do. But again, a lot of people like to, a lot of, so look, I feel like a lot of males like to revert back to um, to the old times, right? Well, which what our great grandfathers and grandfathers and grandmothers was dealing with and going through, right? And then the reality of that is they will say that, like, oh, and then they have this thing where it's like, I'm an alpha male, like my woman have to cook for me, clean, run my bath with her, this and the third, right? But in the same token, right, they don't be doing the shit that the men were doing back in the days. So you want me to cook, clean for you, take care of everything, but I'm still working the same amount of hours as you. Why I can't be tired when you're tired? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying, okay, like off the back, like once you're sexually active for somebody, we're both dependent on each other and as a whole. But what I am saying is that a lot of men have this mentality, like, I'm the alpha guy. Whatever I say, my female has to listen. But in reality, you're not doing what your grandfathers and y'all great grandfathers was doing in the past. Great grandfathers and grandfathers was out there kicking down the door. So if the female was at home, she was at home all day, cooking and cleaning to take care of her kids, and it was nothing for her to worry about because pops and dad is going to make sure that everything was taken care of. And now the only thing I got to take care of is take care of my household, and you are in my household, so I'm taking care of you. Nowadays, it's just like so much like, oh, I want to have sex with you. Let's just have sex. No. Sex results into a lot of things. It could be kids, it could be diseases, it could be feelings, it could be all types of shit. Nobody got time for that.
Right. Things that you got to maintain. Long-term maintenance.
Like, that you have to deal with for the rest of your life,
Forever.
that's going to cost you.
Exactly.
And then it's just like, even in the same token, it's like maintenance and all of that fall under the subject of like, I don't know. People, I don't know. Plenty of unhealed trauma, mistrust, plenty of letdowns. Breaks from other people. Yeah, you could take long breaks from other people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, before we move on, as far as like, yeah, men want that old fashioned, like, if I financially invest, that is my property. The whole point of women fighting to want to work is so that they could be independent and individuals. This idea of people going into relationships, that's what people be chasing pleasure and that high to escape trauma. Yeah, it's your personal responsibility to heal your trauma. Your personal responsibility to heal your trauma. It's not my responsibility to heal your trauma. It's not our responsibility now to heal your trauma. I'm not responsible for healing your trauma. You go to therapy to heal your trauma, and I should be able to benefit from how you, everybody in your life should be able to benefit from how you heal your trauma in therapy. So don't go into a situation wanting to escape your trauma, because you can't escape trauma. Trauma is on you like mold. Like, you have to treat it. You have to treat it. So yeah, that's what I would say. As far as like old school traditional relationships, what ended up happening is that women ended up going to work, like Mercedes said, in addition to taking care of the household. There was no alleviation of that. Yes, after a while, the government came in and substituted the man. We know that, and influenced welfare and kicked the man out of the house. We know that. And yes, it has warped a lot of women's minds to feel like that they don't need a man. But now the conversation is switched, and we're saying that we do need men to contribute in particular situations, and they don't want to do that. That's a completely different thing. That's a completely different thing. Where if I've gone through therapy and I understand what I need in order to be in this soft particular place where you want to be in a relationship with me, where you do end up benefiting from me being soft, why don't you want to contribute that if I'm communicating that that's what I need in order for us to win at that? There are plenty of people that only want sex, no strings attached. That's what community is for. No, that's also what sex work is for. Crack in particular along prison started that cycle. Yeah, crack, the drugs infiltrated from the government, prisons infiltrated by the government, welfare contributed by the government, all of those things by the government. The government came in and substituted for the man. Yes, we know that. But now we're trying to rebuild this idea of having our homes back together, having Black men and women, or not even, just healthy relationships back together. And people are communicating what their needs and wants are. And people are only more concerned about the desires part of it, the wants, and not wanting to set a strong foundation for forever because they're more concerned about what they could get right now.
And you said there are plenty of people that only want sex, no strings attached. There's a community for that. So go to the community for that. Don't come to females that ain't in that community for it. It is. It's a lot of people that do want to have sex with no strings attached. And you think, my question now is to y'all, do you think that finances is a string? I'm confused.
I mean, I think so. Yeah, it could it could be a tether, because it is something that is used to manipulate and control people. So, like I said, the same way like property tax. Like, I'm paying taxes on this. This is mine, so you got to do what I say, type shit.
Like the cattle and the slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
I mean, and that's changed too, because that goes back to like to marriage. Like, the whole idea of marriage before, well, not before. At some particular point, there was a point in marriage that had to do with property ownership and business when it came to husband and wife. That was the whole point of the women's rights movement, so that they could not be seen as property of their husbands.
And you know what happens when you get married, though?
What?
Her bills become his bills. Her debt becomes his debt. His debt becomes her debt. His debt becomes, like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, that's definitely a string.
Nobody, or you don't want to pour out or invest in anything, then don't. You don't have to. But everybody don't have to feel the same way you feel. And that's just that. You may think like, oh, paying for a bitch to get a wax or paying for things to make it easier for her to chill with you is prostitution. If you don't want to pay for it, don't.
And find somebody who's not going to require that from you.
Find somebody that's okay with that.
Yep.
Find somebody that's okay with that.
Yeah, we do want to do that for the right women though. Then you the one who gotta find the right women. It's your responsibility to find the right women to do that. Don't waste your time on women who you don't want to be around.
How do you find the right woman if you're not, you feel me, if you're not courting her, you're not hanging out with her, you're not doing nothing with her,
Like, how would
and it
you
don't even
know?
gotta be on a sexual matter. How do you find the right woman? How do you know? Do you want to look at her and say, oh my God, you're the right woman?
Right?
Or
The
you know,
Bible
wait for it
said,
to say,
try the spirit by the spirit. Hello? Shake it up a little bit to see if it's a demon or not. The pay factor also comes down to has the money or who has the money or who doesn't. A lot of dudes are out here broke and pretending to have money. Right now, right now when things are expensive, becoming even more clear. Oh yes. Oh
that's
yeah,
a
it's getting
fact.
clear.
They don't be stingy, they be broke. That's what I said. That's a problem.
But
I can't even see that comment. That's crazy. But yeah, like, they don't be stingy, they be broke. And the niggas that complain about, oh, bitches always want this, they want that, they need this, be broke. They don't got it. So now if I'm expecting it from you, it's like, oh, you're expecting me to go out of my way or crash out to get you what you want. No, I don't. Just leave me alone.
That's where
It's
the
that easy.
insecurities come in.
And it's true. Everything do be expensive, but come on, like, should be more expensive in the long run. Us being friends and us having a conversation don't cost us nothing. But you want to take it to another level. Come on now. No.
Just say you telling on yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. Realistically, there are people who are only good for sex. They can't offer anything else of substance. But they themselves up to believe they deserve more. Delusion. Well, that if you why you around people who don't have no value? Stop circulating around yourself that don't contribute nothing or don't have no value, don't see no value in themselves. I don't know what that means that some people are only good for sex. I don't know what that means. That that means that you only see them being good for sex because God didn't put them on this earth for them to only be good for sex. Crazy. What happened to the 80% of people are broke? The 80% of the people are broke. Well, that's yeah. What happens when 80% of the people are broke? You have to build your relationship on something else that's not money. That's why it can't be on the money thing. You still have to invest though. Time is an investment. The quality of time with someone is an investment. Um, if huh? Consistency. There's ways to get food without money if y'all both broke on EBT. Like, come on. There's ways to get right, run errands. Get some cute, if she likes about going shopping and you can't buy her Gucci, take her to Old Navy.
Or bring her a little flower or something.
Right.
Little things count. It ain't about some major shit, like, cause you gonna meet people that out of your league. And again, people, you don't have to talk to people that you don't have to talk to people that I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to talk.
Have the same morals, the same expectations, the same everything with, right? You don't have to talk to people if y'all don't agree on certain things. Thrift shops do have good shit.
Exactly, and it's cheap, so y'all could explore the thrift store together. That's a cute date. How am I telling? How are you telling on yourself? Why are you circling around yourself with people who's only good for sex? Why are you only looking at people that and only see that they're only good for sex? That's weird. Don't say that out loud.
And what made you stay around them after you already had the sex and that was all they was good for? But you keep going back.
Or you only see them as good for sex. You didn't have sex with them and you see that they only good for sex. Why you keep staying around them then? Hi, Corey, if you're still here. He's married. He has a lot of advice. And he's young. He's young with a career and a growing family.
I cannot see none of these comments or none of these people joining.
Oh. Poppy Pilot, that's Corey. That's my cousin Corey. He's married, newly married.
Congratulations.
Yes, and he has solid advice. Well, I know it's solid because I agree with a lot of the things that he said. Oh shit, Jamari's here. Hey, Mari. Yeah. Jamari, is paying for somebody's pedicure tricking?
No, the question is now, what's considered tricking?
Yeah, what is considered tricking? Is it tricking if you got it, Mari? I'm in many rooms at places, workplace events, seminars, meetings, etc. And I meet folks for only good for sex. Plenty of them I don't do anything with.
Like if you meet them and you're not having sex with them, how do you know they only good for sex?
So wait, what type of seminars are you at where you find these people who are only good for sex?
I think he in a lifestyle.
That's what I'm saying. You tell it on yourself, and I don't know what this means because I don't know if it's true or not. Exactly, it's not. Exactly. Mari, grown ass man. Jamari is a grown ass man with a family. He knows that you got to pay for a pedicure sometimes. That you got to, invest a little bit of TLM, tender loving and some money. A little bit, just a little bit. Or a lot, if that's what you like. If you could afford it, it ain't tricking if you got it. That's what he said. Oh, man. We've been on here for a long time now. An hour and a half. It's not an investment. I don't want to be with a bitch who's good with Peppy. Exactly. That's what we was talking before. Like, if you got a problem with it, fix it. I do my woman's own pedicures and manicures, but not some random woman. All right. So you're saying that if she's special enough, you'll save the money, but use the time to do it yourself. That's what you're saying. The fact of the matter is, the feet still have to be maintained, and it costs something. Whether it takes time to do it because she's doing it, you doing it, somebody else is doing it at a situation. I mean, at a salon is doing it. Socks. You buy socks. Okay, so if you're not paying for the pedicures, you willing to buy socks or have extra socks, providing socks for her at the house or wherever you at. Thanks for the follow. For all of the people who are here, I'm also on Disneyland. Disneyland Productions on Instagram. You could give this video is streaming right now. You could watch this from the beginning if you really want to know what's going on. Fast forward and all that other stuff. We've been going live from 12:30, 1:30. Mercedes, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, nothing else is happening. Jamari said that he's willing to provide the socks if he's not paying for the pedicure.
Wait, you gonna provide the socks but not pay for the pedicure? See, a lot of stuff come with that too. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
What, with socks?
Well, yeah, all of that.
He said it's not tricking if you got it, and it's not an investment if I don't want to be with a bitch with bad feet. And that's why I said, if you have a problem with it, fix it. And then he said socks.
He's trolling right now.
As always, per usual.
He already said what he said.
Yeah, he paying for them pedicures.
I'm gonna eat. I just took a bite of chicken. So
What?
I'll die in a while.
Mercedes, no!
Oh my God.
All right, peeps. Saquon, oh, it's just me and you here, Mercedes? Oh. Saquon was in here, fueling the conversation. I appreciate him for that. Shout out to Justin, too, for the entertainment. And my co-host, the lovely trendsetter. Hey. Right?
We gotta get some topics so we can keep it flowing.
Yeah, word. But yeah. People peep this on YouTube. Hopefully this audio from as far as keep making content. Yeah, I'll be back. Somebody keeps encouraging me to go on live, but then they don't ever come. But yeah, what I was about to say. If you like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you came on the tail end of this and you want to see all of it, it's on YouTube. Hopefully, that's what I was saying. Hopefully, the volume from the phone and your contributions, Mercedes, was audibly received from the computer. So we got to listen from the playback because I'm not sure.
I hope so. But yes, I had a blast. I'm gonna go get ready for the day now.
All right, girl. Me too. Bye, peeps.
Later, people.
Oh, I didn't even end the stream right here. My bad. Bye, peeps.